Wait, Vortix? I thought he was full on AoE 4. Yes, he's currently an AoE 4 competitor and an AoE 4 content creator. Vortix, he has not competed in StarCraft in a very long time. He retired back in 2016, but he did return like many others for this event. You know, Special is back, Vortix is back, Cham has returned, and a bunch of these other players as well, like this player here. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Frostline, we have our teal Terran player from land of Peru, the Peruvian Terran. It is Draconix. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss from land of Spain. Blue Zerg player from land of Spain. Again, the legend himself, going for a 14 pool. It is Vortix. Going pool first. So pool first opener here out of Vortix. Interesting. Again, this is going to be our first ZvT that we're covering from our Zerg player, and I'm curious how he plays this out. This can lead into an early aggression, into early tech, but it is going to be pull first into a hatchery. Meanwhile, again, I have not casted Draconix in many years, so I don't really know if he's really one to embrace mech too often. In my memory, he is more of a bio player, but again, it's been a long time. You know, now that he's an old man, I might be playing mech nowadays. I don't know. Here we go. You also want a Age of Empires mythology for money. I mean, I would say this is less of a money thing and more of like, do I say nostalgia? Basically, a bunch of the, to reiterate once again, a bunch of the content creators from Latin America and from Spain, they reached out. They reached out to a bunch of the retired players. You know, they got them interested. As I said before, like, this is a bit of a almost a nostalgia trip kind of resurgence tournaments, getting back all these old Latin American and Spanish players, which is really cool. And what I'm excited by is I'm pretty sure Season 2 is confirmed, so I'm excited to see these players continue to compete and continue to perform. Kind of going into like the return of some of these players, I think a good example of that is Special. Special, he hasn't played in a tournament properly outside of like 2v2s and stuff like that since last year EWC back in like June, July. But because Special is now playing in this, Special, he did play in this week's Pigastar Monday. He played in this week's Open NA Cup, which he, again, hasn't done just in a long time. So once again, I would actually attribute that to HSL. I would say that HSL brought him back to like playing again, and now that he's playing HSL, he's like, oh hey, may as well play in the Open Cups, you know. And I'm curious to see if that happens with Vortix as well, for example. Like, if we see Vortix sign up for like an Open Cup, like an EU Open Cup, then it's like, oh okay, like now he's interested again, now he's playing again. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. It happened to Special, we'll see if it happens to Vortix. For now though, we do have our opener. It is going to be a CC on the high ground, so Rax expand on that high ground, going for his 1-1-1. Very safe opener here out of Draconix. He did scout earlier. He did see how... Yeah, I believe he did see the earlier spawning pool. Lings that it get no damage done, and we're settling it. So far, good response here by Draconix, as we are going to be building up on our two bases. Meanwhile, insanely far. Oh, he didn't pull out. He did not pull out of gas. My apologies. Didn't notice. Didn't pull out of gas. Going for a second gas. Guys are rushing into an insanely fast lair. This is what a 320 lair timing. Ay, ay, ay. Now, with a fast lair like this could be a couple of different things. This could be for roach play. This could be two-base muta. Like, that's the first thing in my mind. If we take more gases, the Reaper does scout. Does confirm. Big scout here for Draconix. He does confirm the lair timing. He knows that this is weird, this is wrong, this is not meant to be a thing. Opening up Viking into Banshee. Very safe opener here. Vikings should be hunting down these overlords. If this is going to be like a Nidus all-in, then this overlord should be hunted down. But what do we see? More gases. Should be muta play. Should be Aspire. If these gases weren't taken, then we can, you know, theorize something like a Lin Queen Nidus all-in. But you don't need 4 gases for that build. Hellions, they do rush past. They rush by the queens into the mineral lines. Drone's gonna get roasted. Nice surround, one of the Hellions. One Hellion does get surrounded. 5 drone kills so far. Can we get more? Not quite. He's gonna be zoned away. Lings, they trickle in just in time. This was a good dive, but didn't get the damage he was hoping for. That's 4 Hellions for 5 drones, and here comes that Spire. Spire is on the way. Meanwhile, it is going to be mech. Ooh. Oh, God. Now I'm a little bit concerned here for Draconix. I mean, he does know about the lair timing, so he knows that mutas are a big possibility. My concern here, that this isn't bio, is that anti-air is very limited. I mean, Hellions don't shoot up. Banshees don't shoot up. I'm hoping this isn't like traditional mech into like Hellion tank. If this is Cyclone, then he can hold his own. But the Cyclones are going to be required to survive. Flush Transfuse. Keeps Yordle alive. Hellions, they do pipe past the Queens, going for the mineral line once again. They dive in, they scout the Spire. Now he has confirmation. Link's coming from behind, a nice position here on the ramp. Yeah, Link's to get roasted. So very efficient trades here from Draconix, but he needs to get into that mineral line. And he will be able to. It does bust in, Void's being pulled. Draconix, who will minimize losses, still going to be 9 drone kills, not bad. And 9, 10 drones go down. Viking gets 2 overlords. So very nice damage here from Draconix. Now, first things first, he has dealt some good economic damage. True. He has scouted what's going on. Also true. Is he ready? The question is he ready for the mutas as he's throwing down a ring of turrets? And there's no anti-air. There's one Viking. There's one Viking right now. Tech labs are on there. We need those Cyclones. We need Cyclones as soon as possible, as mutas are amassing. Turrets, they will finish in time. And for the time being, Draconix, he's relying on those turrets. As we need those Cyclones. Mutas are building up. He's making more. He's crazy. He's getting blue flame. Making more Hellions, mate. He's got so much faith in those turrets. So much faith. Viking goes down. I mean, they are going to be able to protect his bases, I suppose. Mate. He's great. I mean, it works. It works. Bappy. He had faith in the towers and it paid off. Hellions are diving to the mineral line. They get Lings. Mate, what a giga chat. Look at this guy. He scouts 2-base Muta and he refuses. He's like, you think I'm going to make anything that shoots up? No. I'm going to make Hellion tank, mate. He's crazy. Let's go. Thor is on the way. Who needs Cyclones? Who needs them? Who needs them, Pappy? True, true. Just make turrets. Now, this is a pretty hefty amount of mutas. It's going to be 9 mutas here for Vortix. Alas, the turrets are close enough. I mean, hey, there's 4 turrets here at the natural. Vortix, he gets scared. Not confident enough. Does back off. Doesn't go in. Ah, the aura that Draconix is exuding right now. Like, it's like, mate, aren't you gonna respect the mutas? He's like, no. I didn't care. What are the mutas gonna do? They're just gonna let the drones die. True, as more drones are going down, the blue flame Hellions, hey, they're paying off. They roast up the mineral line. He gets 8 worker kills, gets 9. No fear. And now he's making Thors, and soon he's gonna push. Like, those Thors are gonna be terrifying. As 9 more workers fall, Vortix struggling here economically. He's like, why are you still making? Why are you not respecting my mutas? Respect the mutas. Like, no, mate, no, I don't care. Maybe you should though, as 1 turret should not be enough. Yes, SV's gonna be going down. Nice rise here with the mutas. Takes down the turrets, but the Thor is here. And mutas, they have to respect the Thor. 1 Thor will zone away. Meanwhile, +1 air attack, still going mass muta. I believe bailing speed was researched, but there's no upgrades. What I mean by that is there's no Evo chambers, as all the gas is being spent on mass muta. And the reality is, if Vortix, if he missteps, if he miscontrols, then all it takes is a couple of Thor volleys, and that muta cloud is going to evaporate. Hellions, once again, they dive in. This time, less successful. Gee, that's a lot of mutas. So here we go. Vortix moving out. Vortix diving in. Again, pushing into Thors and turrets. He does spread out his mutas decently well. Gets one, takes out one of the Thors, takes down the other. There's one Thor left, but the turrets, they put in a lot of work. And so far they get 10 mutas, but there's only one Thor left. And maybe we should have respected the mutas a little bit more here. Yeah, the Thors do 4 turrets as well, and Vortix, he breaks through. He breaks through the siege line, gets into the SEVs. Behind this, no more anti-air. There is no more anti-air. Too many tanks, not enough Thors. GG gets called. Whew. And Vortix, he will take game number 1. Also, Draconix, you're an animal. That was crazy. GG, well played. I mean, Draconix, he almost got away with it. It was really impressive. It was crazy impressive to see how long he got away with just skipping anti-air, and he was establishing his 3rd base, but as we saw, again, barely didn't have enough there to deal with it. Honestly, I feel like he might have been able to hold if he had pre-pulled the boys. If he had pulled the boys. If he had pulled the boys when the first Thor went down with repairs, then maybe he defends anyway. But this was so greedy. This was like such a that's maybe the best way of putting it. Just a really greedy response there by Draconix. Just defending with the bare minimum against a player going mass muta. And it almost worked, to be fair. Did almost work. It was crazy. GG, well played. Vortix does take a lead in the series. And with that, we're getting into game number 2. So far, that's the highlight of the night for me. that was great. I followed up with the season. I was there that I hit the announcers. They fulfilled their funding objectives for the tournament faster than they thought. Yes. Again, it was the content creators that made the event, but it was crowdfunded by the community, by the followers or by the audiences of all said content creators. You know, by Bond, by Protosito, by Enki, by the Novak. So this is a kind of a community initiative, I should say, which is really cool to see. And here we go, we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Wisps of Gold, we have the teal Terran player, the Peruvian Terran. Again, being so greedy last game and almost got away with it as well. It is Draconix. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player with the blue Zerg himself. Oh, from land of Spain, the returning legend. It is Vortix. Seems like he didn't expect the full commitment to mutas. Kind of. Like, the one thing against that is that if you remember, because of his Hellion run-bys, he was scouting and he was confirming that there was no other tech. There was no roaches, I should say, there was no roach warren, there were no evo chambers, and I believe he did see the researching spire in the natural as well. So based on the harassment, based on the scouting he was getting because of the harassment, he should have been aware that it was mass muta. So I don't think it was about him not recognizing that was happening. He probably just was maybe overconfident. Like, he had a ring of turrets, he had some Thors, just barely not enough. Again, it just felt very greedy. And again, it was on a knife's edge, I would say. Like, if he had like one more Thor or a little bit more support. But yeah, he did not respect those mutas. Yeah, not at all. From here, we're getting into game number 2. And we'll see if he goes into mech again, right? We'll see if he goes into mech again, into bio. As I mentioned before, I haven't casted Draconix in 4 years, so I don't know if his style has changed over time. I don't know what he's looking like, so we'll see. We shall see. As for now, ranks expand, CC on the low ground this time. As a reminder, last game was a CC on the high ground, but I believe that was also a response to the pool first. This time it is hatch gas pool standard opener out of Vortix, and Draconix likewise going for a standard opener as well. Reaper dips in. Does pull away. And we'll see if we do have another fast lair. As a reminder, last game it was a 320 lair timing from Vortix. Here he's staying in gas. Yeah, it should be mutas again. He's staying in gas. It looks like the same build. So far. You do not stay in gas like this unless you intend to use it. And it should be for the fast lair. Yep, 3 minutes lair timing. Whew. 3-minute lair, right into the gas. Reaper dives in. Draconix, he scouts. He sees everything. A really nice scout timing here for Draconix. He sees everything he needs to. This time, does he respect the mutas? That's the question here. I did really like the Hellion dives. I'll be honest. Like, I really liked the Hellion dives from Draconix. Like, I think he was playing really well last game. He was doing a lot of economic damage. But he, again, chose to make more tanks than Thors, right? He chose to get into that kind of unit composition, and he got punished for it. Oh, going for a Hellion drop this time. Okay, I see you. So once again, committing to Hellion harass, this time into drop play. Remember, last game it was a Viking opener to hunt down the Overlords. But Draconix, he wants to pop off once again with those Hellions. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can be more successful this time. Here comes the Spire, as we assumed. Double gases or more gases on the way. Again, this is the same build. Same build 2 games in a row. From Vortix. Faster eBay this time for faster turrets. Ooh, okay. Medevac into Banshee. Interesting. The Banshee follow-up into Cloak. Medevac has arrived. Overlord does confirm. And Vortix, he does rotate into the main. Does respond in time. Hellions, they get a volley off, but not much more damage. So far, Vortix, he holds on. So far, he's holding. Draconix, he pivots away. Pivots back. Oh, let's go the Jukes. The Jukes from Draconix, he's got some moves. Dives into the mineral line, Ling's out of position, drones are going to get roasted. And how many? So far 3. Nothing major. Medevac takes a lot of hits. Oh no! Oh, has to leave, has abandoned 2 Hellions. 2 Hellions go down, 2 Hellions for 3 drones. I would say a better defense here for Vortix. Does defend. Oh my god! What's happening? It's Draconix going proxy 2nd starport into 2-port Banshee? Against Muta? Okay. Okay. I mean, he knows it's Muta. He scans. Like, he knows it's Mutas. This is crazy. Behind this, going to turrets, going into mech. But a very different style of mech here. Like, I don't know how much these Banshees are really going to do, to be honest. I mean, there's no spores. And nothing to kill here at the 3rd base. Drones are being targeted. Hellions, they attempt to dive into the natural. Oh, they get some transferring workers. Not bad. Hellions pull away, Banshee does fall. And we're not doing anything with this, are we? Yeah, no. Draconix, calm down, Pappy, calm down. Let's go. Going proxy Banshee. This is so risky. So risky here. I mean, game 1 as well was risky as well, in a different way, right? He's lost his mind. Okay, gets a Muta. Takes out 1 Muta. Hellions, they threaten another dive. There are some Lings to defend. As Lings, they collapse on the Hellions. Nice movements. Lings, they're getting roasted. They do get 1, 2, up to 3 Hellions. 3 Hellions go down. Mutas are deflected. Hellions, they rush past the Queens once they get into the mineral line. They're getting some value here. Getting 2 drones. Oh, getting 3. Getting 3 workers. We're banking on more Banshees. I mean, there's still, like, okay, so the reason why there's no Spore is because, like, logically, if like, logic is out the window of this game, but logically here, Vortix has map control, and it wouldn't make sense to go into Banshee because of all the mutas, right? Like, there are so many mutas on the map. Vortix has map control. It wouldn't make sense to go Muta because chances are these mutas, sorry, it doesn't make sense to go Banshee because chances are these mutas would hunt down the Banshees, right? They would hunt down the Banshees. Right now, they're hunting down the Medevac. As we see, like, they're containing Draconix. So it makes no sense to have a proxy out of the map for Banshees, which is why there are no spores. That's what I'm getting at. Like, that's why there's no spores, because you don't need spores, like in a proper game like this. But because there's no spores, I mean, now this can work. If the muta's out of position. And here we go. Banshees, they dive in. Mutas, they do respond. Yeah, we can see that Vortix, he does pull the boys, does pull away. Again, this is a cheeky move, but alas, Vortix is on top of this. Hellions, they dive into the mineral line. There are links to respond, and these meters are not getting much done. They're not, sorry, these banshees are not getting much done. So good reactions here by Vortix. He pulls away, saves the drones. Ideally, Draconix, he wanted a distraction, right? He wanted a distraction somewhere to keep these meters busy. And he hasn't scouted this, by the way, but I think he's about to. Yeah, he's about to scout. Potentially. Behind this, Thors are on the way. Now, what's important here is that these Banshees are still alive. The Banshees, they're still alive. They're still here. They can still pose a threat. As we mentioned, if we can see Draconix move out and keep Vortix's attention elsewhere, then these Banshees, they can pop off. But now it's too soon. It's a little bit too soon. Oh. Yeah, Mutas are still in position. Oh no, the Banshees. Yeah, they get caught. They get caught out. A massive catch. Yeah, there's no escaping this. The Banshees will all go down. Hyperflight, mate. Pappy, what's going on? It's too late. Hyperflight Rotor's on the way. Is he gonna go back into Banshee production? No shot. No shot. Scan reveals roaches. Okay, this time it is mass muta. True. It is how many? 15 mutas into a roach-based army. Roaches are revealed. The Draconix knows. Vortix moving forward. Back at home, how many Thors? 4. Okay, this time there's 1 extra Thor, and he's got a massive ring of turrets. So this time he has plenty of anti-air, but now he needs ground army. Now he needs something for the roaches. And Vortix is maxed out. He's maxed out. He dives on those Thors. Thors are going to go down one after the other. And there are no tanks. This time there's 0 tanks. The time that there's Roach Ravager, 0 tanks. And with that, Vortix, he breaks through. To be fair, a lot of this also came down to this. Came down to the mass Banshee. It was crazy. And Vortix, he will overwhelm. He will overwhelm the army, takes down the tanks, takes down the Thors. And Vortix, he will take the series here. GG. that was crazy. That was crazy. GG, well played. Vortix, who will take the series. But we'll see if Draconix can bounce back in Game 3. GG, well played. There was a lot here that I really liked from Draconix. I really liked the initial Hellion drop opener. He did find damage. Remember, he found damage, he scouted everything, he was getting some drone kills, trading well against the Lings. The proxy starport 2-port Banshee was massive brain play, but it's one of those things where it either works or it just fails horribly, right? And winding it back to that moment, I do think that it was a mistake for the Banshees to move in by themselves. I do think that he had to commit to a fake move out, to like a fake push on one side and distract those mutas and keep Vortix's attention elsewhere and then go with the Banshees, because he went in initially with the Banshees first. Like, they got seen, they got spotted, they got shut down. Like, it was just a really, really big commitment into those Banshees, and all the eggs, they were there and they got cracked. It didn't quite work out. GG. GG, well played. But it's been a crazy series. Do people not take Blue Flame anymore? If you were here for Game 1, there was Blue Flame in Game 1. Blue Flame was in Game 1. Blue Flame would not have really changed anything here in Game 2. But, yes, was in Game 1. And here we go, we're getting into Game number 3. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have our Peruvian Terran player, the Teal Terran. Down in the series, we'll see if we can put that point on the board. See if he can fight back. It is Draconix. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zurich player from land of Spain. The returning legend himself up 2-0. It is Vortix. Here we go. As once again, just like Game 1, pool first. He is going for a pool first opener. But just like every other game in the series, I do imagine this is going to be initially 2 base muta. See in chat, best of 5? No. This is a best of 3. If you weren't here earlier, for all these matches in the HSL, they are all best of 3s, but all matches are played out. So regardless if they're 3 0s or 2 1s, all 3 matches are played. But it is a best of 3. I'm going to be moving out. And with this scout Draconix, he does confirm the hatchery is late, so late hatchery here from Vortix. So he confirms pull first. And ideally wants to get eyes on the gas timing. Confirms later gas. So not a gas first build. Draconix, he sees everything he needs to. He can back off and he can prepare back at home. Can prepare. You can see as a result of the pull first, CC on the high ground, and the Reaper should be more defensive. Should be staying at home to deal with this. I say that is rallied across the map, so a bit of a riskier move here from Draconix. It's going to be a riskier move. So the links are being active. Draconix, okay, it does stay. Yeah, it does stay back home, does patrol, and the links will back off. The Overlord does see the Reaper. Oh, no reaction. Yeah, no reaction, no response. Gets surrounded. Draconix not paying attention. Oh, now he's in trouble. He's in trouble. Lings, they move in, and if the CC was on the low ground, it would be delayed, but thankfully he's on the high ground, and the wall is solid. Has to pull a couple of boys to repair. But Draconix, he should be able to maintain this position. But this is still nice damage from Vortix, as that's 4 SCVs off the mineral line. And back at home, Vortix is droning. Vortix is droning up, he's saturating. He stays in gas. He stays in gas. What does that mean? That means once he has 100 gas, he's going for the lair. Now, this is going to be a later lair because it was later gas. So late gas means late lair, means late 2-base muta, more so than in the last game. Just as a heads up. Like, the overall build is affected by this. But based on all the economic damage, I mean, it's pretty worth it. Well, it's pretty worth it here for Vortix. As he has the gas, show us what you got. As we reach that 330 mark. Going for a baneling. Okay, this is something very different. I assumed it was going to be, once again, lair into 2-base muta. We can see the gas is not for the lair, is for the baneling bus instead. Hellion pokes in. Ooh, lair is revealed. This is a later lair though, much later. This is almost 4 minutes. I mean, winding it back. This is later compared to what we've seen so far, but it is still early, right? Like a standard lair timing is at 4:30. This is like at sub 4 minutes. We have the lair. And hopefully the Draconix recognizes something is wrong. Hopefully he recognizes that, hold on, this is later than it otherwise has been so far this series. What's happening? Does he piece together that there's some earlier tech, like a Roach Warren or a Baneling Nest? And here comes the bust. Here comes the Bane bust. Again, Draconix, he has no pieces together, not yet. He does spot all these lings though. Almost gets surrounded. Does roast them up. A decent trade here for Draconix. Considering this is an all-in, remember, no drones. We're not droning up the natural, 3rd base just for larva. Mass Bane bust is on the way. But Vortix is being slowed down. Oh, Hellions are being baited onto Grief. And here comes a surround. Yeah, now he knows. Now he sees the Mass Ling. Nice positioning here behind the mineral line. Very nice positioning. Oh my god, so many Lings get roasted. Hellions will go down, but this is a better trade for Draconix. Checking the trades here. 31 Lings for 7 Hellions. Bane Bust has been delayed. Spire is on the way. Vortix, oh, he's gonna have to drone soon. But he's in a rough position. Banelings are spotted, he knows. Does he have anything to defend? 2 Hellions, no shot, 2 Hellions to defend. Vortix, he's diving in. Does have into the mineral line, SV's gonna be going down. He busts down the wall as well. Draconix, can he hold on? The Lings are getting SCV kills. Yeah, there's just the 1 Hellion. And just 1 Hellion to defend. They're getting 14 SCVs, and this is getting out of hand. This is just becoming far too much here. Hellions are pulling one after the other. Boys being pulled. The Viking will help, but this is game ending. This is game ending damage at this point. SCVs were in hold position. They get another Hellion. And behind this, Draconix, he drones. He's droning up. He's droning up, going for the Spire, going for the mutas. Again, Draconix, he didn't fully realize what was going on until it was too late. And he was focusing on the production, right? It's like he was getting more factories, getting add-ons. Oh, a tank goes down as gets a tank. Takes down the tank as well. And the Draconix is down to 8 SCVs. 8 SCVs remaining, barely an economy, and he has nothing to counterattack. He has 2 Hellions, he has 1 Viking, Vortix happily droning up, saturating on 2 bases, now getting a 3rd base, Spire is done, Muta's on the way. Vortix is all over this. It's all over this. And again, Draconix, he just wasn't able to recognize what was, how to piece it all together, what was happening, the late lair, the lack of scouting behind the mineral line. Draconix did have incomplete information and was too greedy. He was just too greedy here. It's far too greedy. And there it is. GG gets called. The writing was on the wall, and Vortix will take the 3-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Vortix. He will take the 3-0. Very, very impressive play there by Vortix, but I would say this has been the most entertaining series. I do recommend it. Game 1 and Game 2 especially. Game 3 was a little bit more lackluster because there was no back and forth. Like, it was basically Vortix hiding his all-in, and Draconix, and successfully so. Draconix, he was unable to piece it all together. He was caught with his pants down, but Game 1 and Game 2 were crazy. they were wild, papi. Oh my god. So if you missed out, I do recommend it. Do recommend checking out the first 2 games of this series. It was some intense and insane ZvT. Muta versus Mech, I should say as well. It was very back and forth, and it was beautiful. And that leads us into the second half of that broadcast. Here we go. As we switch the scenes over and catch up on the group. As a reminder, this is a round robin group, and we have had nothing but 3-0s so far. Shift Click does take down Neo 3-0, Vortix will down Shift Click 3-0, Vortix will down Draconix, and we do have 2 more matches remaining here. It's going to be Vortix versus Neo and Ryojin versus Neo as well. Here we go. So we still have some more ZvTs ahead of us here. Still have 4 more matches to come. So for the time being, we're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break here. When we come back, we're going to be featuring some more Vortix, this time against Neo, another Terran player. I would say he's another Terran meching player as well. And I don't know which series was played first. I don't know if Draconix or Neo would have let each other know about the Vortix's playstyle, but I expect more Muta play. I'll be honest, I expect more 2-base Muta, and I expect more mech, and we'll see if Neo can succeed where Draconix otherwise did fail. We'll see. For now, they're going to be going on that break. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and we'll be back soon with some more HSL. See you soon. Oh, see you soon, Pappy. See you soon.